Welcome to everyone who is already subscribed, and a special welcome to anyone that's new. This is the full video. Manufacturing is breaking. Here's how to fix it before it's too late. And I've hoped everyone's watched the CNC shops are bleeding money. Stamping shops have a setup problem, and injection molding shops are fighting themselves. Shorts that led up to this full video. We're going to jump right on in. These are shops right now, or there are shops right now that feel busy every single day, but they're not getting ahead. CNC, stamping, injection molding, different processes, same problems. Most of them have nothing to do with the machines and everything to do with how the shop is run. Let's break it down. First, CNC shops. Biggest issue, flow. Not cutting time, everything around it. Machines sitting idle waiting for setups. Programs not ready. Material not staged. This is where shops lose money. So what's the fix? Preparation. Offline programming. Pre-staging tools and materials. Standardized setup procedures. Your goal is simple. When one job ends, the next one starts immediately. No waiting. That's where efficiency comes from. Now, stamping. The issue. Setup time. Long die changes force shops into big batch production, which creates inventory problems, cash flow issues, and less flexibility. The solution? You have to attack setup time directly. Break it down step by step. What can be done while the machine is still running? What can be standardized? What tools can be prepared ahead of time? Shorter setups equal smaller batches equals more flexibility. That's how you stay competitive. Now, injection molding. Problem here is consistency. Too many variable changing. Too many adjustments being made. Not enough control. Fix. Process discipline. Lock in your parameters. Document what works. Train operators to follow it, not guess. Because once you stabilize your process, everything improves. Scrap drops, output increases, stress goes down. Now here's the bigger picture. All of these problems tie back to one thing: lack of structure, lack of training, lack of systems. And this is where most shops need to change, because you cannot fix these problems long term without building people. And that means apprenticeships, not just hoping someone figures it out. Structured learning. Bring people in, train them properly, give them a path. Start in-house if you have to. Pair them with experienced workers. Create a progression. Then build connections to college programs. Because this industry, it can't be ignored. Machines still need people who understand them, who can think, who can solve problems. The shops that invest in that, well, they win. The ones that don't, they fall behind. So the real question is, are you building a system, or are you surviving day to day? Because only one of those lasts. Now, on a personal note, I worked at a CNC shop that was struggling, and our solution was we came up with setup tables. The next two jobs. Now, it was a small production shop, so we didn't have huge parts, But the next job was set on a cart. Every tool, every wrench, everything you needed to change that job over. And every one of those tools were already preset to a certain length. All you had to do is touch them off. And we had the material on the bottom of the cart. Like I said, we had the next two jobs. We had 7 CNC mills, and every one of them had 2 carts. They slid off to the backside by the scrap, but they were far enough away from the scrap where they didn't fill up. But we ended up figuring out we reduced setup time by 82%. And the amount of money we saved was just incredible. And then I worked in a stamping facility where we kind of did the same thing. We came up with setup tables. Now, these machines were, you had independent punches and independent dies, but you had them all laid out. Punches were in a rack standing up. All the dies that went with those punches were sitting down in front. If we had extra die shoes, we had them in there already with shims. If not, they could be quickly changed over once that job got done. And as the material of that job was getting close to being run out, the next one was brought over and set off to the side, put in front of that machine. And we took a process that used to take half a shift and reduced it into an hour and 15 minutes. And that was from time to take out the tools, put the new tools in, feed new material in, change coolants if need be, and then start taking the part down, dialing it in. So, again, big time savings. And we had 18 machines, so that was a huge savings. And finally, injection molding. The shop I worked in, we had 40 injection machines, and the biggest problem there for us was more so with the maintenance of the dies, preventive maintenance. But even still, there's ways around everything. We took a preventive maintenance of the 2-shot molds, which shoots 2 different types of plastic. It has a rotary in the center. And it used to take 3 days to do a complete teardown, clean, re-grease, and put back together before it hit the floor. We went through the setup sheet of how we did it in the tool room and got that to where if we had the tool cooled down and it hit the tool room at 6:30, by 3:30 that afternoon, it was back to the floor, ready to go back in the machine. And in a case of emergency, 2 of us would jump on it. We could have it back out there by lunch. We ended up saving the company over $500,000. So little things add up quick. So those are my thoughts. And that's my stories. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them. I look forward to reading them, and I will answer everyone that I get. Please like, subscribe, share with everybody, whether they need to hear it or they don't. If they're in management, if they're an operator, if they're in quality, if they're in engineering, tool room, the guy that sweeps the floor. Hey, he's important too, or her. But until then, I will see you in the next one.